We've kind of shown it a little bit. We have never gone down to a whole deep dive on Audio Lab, all of its capabilities. I'm going to do that today. This is also going to be what's going to be deep dived and trained, how to use it, why you would use certain things, some of the things that you need to know about when using Audio Lab, text to speech, speech to speech, how to create your own voices, how to clone your own voices, how to go and find over 1,000 different voices. So we're going to jump right in now to the way that we do that in the browser. So let me do this. Corey, can you throw up? Let's go dig in. I'm going to use the light mode today so that you guys say it's a little easier to use. So I am going to do that for you. All right. When you first get here, obviously, again, create. It's going to bring us down the way through Ruby Canvas, and you can create projects. But you can also get to your stuff if you're not going to be building big, long projects. You just want to do something very quick. You'll be able to access all of the features right on the left-hand side. And right now we're going to go and we're going to deal with Audio Lab. Underneath Audio Lab, you'll see 3 different options. You actually will see 4 different options because we have this thing called Revoicer. Revoicer is our dubbing platform. That also will be showing up in our Audio Lab. And so all of these will be available to you. Vocalization, when you click that, that is what we call our way to get to text to speech. Oh, and it kicked me out. Sorry, let me log back in. Text to speech and speech to speech. So this is how you'll get to it. And the text to speech is exactly as you know. Anything that you put inside of your text box is what's going to actually be read. And it's going to be read based on a voice that you pull from your My Voices. Okay, so when I click up here on the voice, you're going to see these are all of the My Voices that I've saved. Okay, otherwise this list would go on forever. There's thousands of voices that are there, and there's more being made every single day, right? So if I go to My Voices right here, you'll see that I have just a list of the ones that I prefer. And I can use them at any point in time. By clicking this, I can go out and just pop me right to wherever it is, and it's going to load my voice, okay? This is the way that you can move voices around. Now, if you want to go and start to look for other voices, though, you can click the voice library, and this is where you're going to be able to just see thousands of all kinds and different dialects, different languages. And the great thing is that the language doesn't really matter. It's more about the accent, because whatever I put in there, if I put it in English, it's going to read it in English. If I put it in German, it's going to read it in German. So it really doesn't matter. So you're listening for the accent that is on that sample. So like if I play a sample, and I believe, Corey, you need to let me know if you can't hear this when this plays, okay?
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Okay, so you can see that you can play each one of these voices to find out what it is that you like. And you can go through a million of them. So this is the one place that when you first get in, I would spend a little time just going through them all. Now you can go through and you can tag them like, oh, okay, I want someone that's going to be good at reading a story. Okay, so now I've got these all that are just those that have a tag of a narrative and a story. And so
never mistake motion for action.
And you can have different voices.
But we also have another interesting story about Nyx's daughter, Nemesis, the goddess of payback.
And you can go through all those. You can also sort those by genders. And so if you want to make it even a little bit thinner, you can keep doing that. But I love the fact that you just have so many options.
कैसी लगी आपको ये कहानी? अगर अच्छी लगी तो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकॉन दबाना.
And so this is the first place I would spend some time. Go find some voices that you have. Now, you can also go into My Voices and you'll see it that there's an add generative or a cloned voice. This is the way I get it to My Voices. If you look down in the voice library, once again, if I like a voice, I just say add to Voice Lab. Okay, so I'm just going to add this over. It's going to join to My Voices. And now you can see that Adam Stone is over here. Okay, so now I have this voice and I can use that voice to actually go and create something now. all of those voices that have to be in the My Voices section. Otherwise, you just would have a drop down forever. Okay, so that's the way the voices work. It's easy to get them in, out, and around. Now, if I wanted to go and do this piece of text, you can paste it in here. Obviously, if you're working on a project, you're going to be able to just lift this up over the canvas. You don't have to go anywhere. And then when you save it, you'll have the audio file, and that audio file will automatically show up in the project that you're working in. So you don't have to jump back and forth. But if let's just say I wanted to do something really fast, I can paste it here. I can create it. I can just type it. I can do a lot of different ways to get my stuff here. Once it's there, all I have to do to get it to work is just hit generate. And whatever voice is selected is the voice that's going to be used. So let's just go ahead and generate it real quick. It doesn't take very long to generate either. You'll see that
Personify, the ultimate persona creator. Simply describe your product, service, or company, or select a successful influencer or website, and Personify does the rest.
So that's my Adam Stone. But if I don't like that, I can actually come down here and say I want a female to do that. I literally just have to change the drop down, hit generate, and it's going to do this all over again. And so
Personify, the ultimate persona creator. Simply describe your product, service, or company, or select a successful influencer or website, and Personify does the rest.
So it's very easy to get the read I want, but there's always a time that I really want to have the diction of it exactly the way I want it, like the intonation and the read. I want it to be exactly the way it was. Now, and I was demoing this yesterday, and I remember back in 1995 to like 2005 when we were heavy in the video production world, and we would bring in artists, or talent to do the voiceovers for commercials and videos and corporate, and we would have them for hours to get the perfect read. Like, I need you to say it exactly like this, and I can repeat it to them, and they could never just perfectly get it the way I want to. And that's where speech to speech comes in, because it allows me to get it exactly the way that I want it to be read. So I'm going to take that same line, personify, the ultimate persona creator. Simply describe your product, service, or company, or select successful influencers or websites, and Personify does the rest. I'm going to read that exactly the way that I want it read, and it's very easy to do. Okay, so I'm going to have go to my record. You notice that I can just record this from my mic. I do have to give access. So once I've got access in there, oops, I'm already talking. It's already done that. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this, I guess. Personify, the ultimate persona creator. Simply describe your product, service, or company, or select a successful influencer or website, and Personify does the rest. To give access. So once I've got access in there, oops, I'm already talking. It's already done that. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this, I guess. Personify, the ultimate persona creator. Simply describe your product, service, or company, or select a successful influencer or website, and Personify does the rest. Obviously, forget the first part, right? But my point is, I want you to hear the very last line. That's really the most important. It's like when I start talking about Personify, listen to how that intonation was, because I want my voice for my British female to sound exactly like that. So here, I'm going to generate, and now it's going to take that way that I said that, and now it's going to generate her voice to make that read, following exactly what I said. Okay, so whatever I read is going to be used here. All that stuff at the front we'll have to cut off or whatever, but it'll take just a second here.
To give access. So once I've got access in there, oops, I'm already talking. It's already done that. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this, I guess. Personify, the ultimate persona creator. Simply describe your product, service, or company, or select a successful influencer or website, and Personify does the rest.
So as you can hear, the way that it says it, and I don't think I sound that much better as a female, by the way. I think the way that you want that read is so easily done through a speech-to-speech. Now, this also is just if you want to read something. If you want to read the book and you want to put it in there, you can do that and change the voice of who it is. It's really good if you're doing cartoons. You can kind of do the read and then choose your character voice, and you get exactly the read that you're looking for. So many things can happen with this capability of speech-to-speech and text-to-speech. Unlimited ways that you can use that. Now, anytime that you want to see any of the stuff that you've already created, it's all saved over here. Now, if I was in my project, right? If I hit create and went through my projects, I only would see in my on my right side over here, only files that were created in that specific project. Now, I also have a little drop down that I can go in and I can create my project or bring in just my project, and everything I create from that point, from making this project live, it will be stored with a link to that project. And so you can keep everything very organized, but you can go through and just keep finding all of the different versions of things that you want to do. And if you want to hear what that sounded like, you literally just have to hit the play button.
Personify, the ultimate persona creator.
And it was going to start to play it. Downloading, just click the download button, and it's going to immediately download that file for you to your computer as an MP3 file, and you will have that. You can take it anywhere you want. So creating these files will be great. Now, if you combine this with Canvas, which has an audio video editor, I can go and create my entire script in IntelliChat. I can then open up the Audio Lab onto my Canvas. I can then go and create my audio files that I want. I can then save them, and I can then use them in my video. I can actually make an audio clip that I want. It's all strung out. I can put background music behind it. I can build the final project and finish it right here. That is one of the huge things about a Ruby and where it's going in 2.0 that separates us from everybody else. So this is kind of the basics around the way that you'll use this. Now, I want to go into a little bit more detail today about how best to use it. I'm not going to go into like all the details, but one other thing I wanted to go through and find a couple of things here. One that I didn't show you here, I think I've shown you in the past. Maybe just grab this volume of this thing one more time. I'm going to go to text to speech. So I have my font here. If I want to take that and I want to put it into a different language, all I have to do is just choose a language that's over here. So let's say that I want it to go into Croatian. Notice what happens. It auto translates everything already in the text field. You don't have to do anything. It's automatically now converted into Croatian, and I can choose my voice again. I say I want this British female again, and I just hit generate. And now it's going to go and it will do the read now in Croatian. Wait for just a second here and it'll be done.
Personificiraj, stvaratelj ultimativnih persona. Jednostavno opišite svoj proizvod, uslugu ili tvrtku, ili odaberite uspješnog influencera ili web stranicu, a personificiraj će učiniti ostatak.
And in speech to speech, by the way, whatever language you're speaking is the language that it's going to push in there. So if you're speaking in English, it's going to come back English. You speak in Croatian, it's going to come back in Croatian. So these are the ways that you can utilize this. It's definitely important to understand that this opens up a whole new world for you. In everything that you create, whether it be a YouTube short, whether it be a corporate video, maybe it's a marketing campaign that you actually are creating 30-second, minute ads. You are able to go quickly and customize to the T the assets that you're wanting to create to go do that. And they don't have to be huge. It could be a simple little thing that you just want to create for, let's say, for Mother's Day. It's so cool that you can go and create all kinds of stuff for people all over the world. And the world became a smaller place with this. All right, so this is one of the things I did want to just do is just a quick little like, hey, here's some things to look for when you're building in audio. One of the things I always try to do is break it into little sections. Okay, I don't want to like just throw in I know, a million words and just have it go and read it. If there's a problem, then I have to go back and re-edit it out. So I like to take it in like little paragraphs at a time, maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs at a time if you're trying to do it in big chunks. That's one of the big things I would say. Now, the way that you will see the words, it always will tell you here that we have a maximum of 5,000 words that can be done at one time. I just would discourage you from doing it, because if something does go wrong, if there's a typo inside, it's going to read the typo. If it's got something that could be mispronounced, Ruby is a great example. When I am doing audio with Ruby, and I'm specifically talking about Ruby, one of the things that I do is I spell it phonetically the way I want it read. So I actually choose not to use RUBI when I'm actually doing this. I use RUBY. And so phonetically, because I don't want Rubi to be what was read, right? Because it's a word that they don't really know. And so I'm going to give you an example right here. So let me get this here. Oh, I just did the wrong one. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in English. I have IntelliChat as innovative, but look how I spell Ruby. I put a Y on it. And the reason why is because I don't want it to say Rubi. And so I want to say Ruby. And so phonetically, you need to think about the way the script is put into the text box if it's something that is not a common word. This is really a way that you can save yourself a lot of credits and a lot of heartache of trying to go out and do that, is just to make sure that you phonetically look at it and make sure there's no misspelled words. You didn't have something that was wrong. Like, okay, if I went in here and I put in with user-friendly interface and I didn't have the word A there, I'm not going to get the good read, right? I have to make sure that whatever's in here is correct. And that's kind of like anything that you do. You know, the quality of the input is going to make the difference of the output. And then, again, taking it in chunks. Like, I don't want all of it in one time. I want to break it into chunks. And this way, if there's something wrong, I'm only using 284 words, or I'm only having to edit in 1 word in the editor, right? And so there's lots of things that do that. Now, the way that we are billing on the credits, it's 5 credits needed would be 5. This is not connected. Okay, so this would be connected in the production mode, not in our demos, not in our dev. But it will tell you how many credits it's going to take to create whatever text is in the box. So you'll never guess. But here's how we are looking at this. It's going to be 1 credit per 500 words. And so if it's 500 words, it'll be 1 credit. If it's 250 words, it'll be 0.5 credits. Again, we're using the decimals to break it down, okay? And so you can go through and kind of see how that is, but you'll know exactly what the read is needed for you to go and create all of the audio. The speech will do the same thing. It will actually be based on how long the recording is. It's based on minutes. And it will be the same thing. About 1,000 words is equivalent to about 1 minute of audio. And so that's kind of the way that it will work. So 1 minute, 1 credit. And if you need, if it's, a tenth of that, well, it may 0.1. So anyway, that's Audio Lab. I do want to share with you just one thing that we have already started to integrate off in. It's been the thing that's really been a delay for us trying to get through all the legalities of it. But I want to show you just a little bit.